If I want a better relationship, I have to answer 3 questions. What am I doing that contributes to relationship dysfunction? Why am I doing those things that contribute to relationship dysfunction? And how do I change that behavior that contributes to relationship dysfunction? As a side note, it's super important that I focus on my part in relationship dysfunction, not my partner's part, because I can't do anything about what my partner is doing that contributes to relationship dysfunction. I can only change my part. Back to the 3 questions. I need to know what I'm doing that contributes to relationship dysfunction. I can ask my partner about that. Part of what my partner says might be true, part might be false, but there will always be some truth in it. And if I can figure out where that truth is, that's helpful. I can ask a therapist, a coach, maybe an insightful friend, say, what am I doing that contributes to dysfunction in my relationship? What can you tell me about myself that I might not be aware of, that I can't see? The second question is why? Why am I showing up this way in my relationship? So like everyone else in the world, I'm bringing adaptive childhood behavioral patterns into my adult relationship, or to say it another way, my child brain is in charge of my adult relationship, and that obviously doesn't work. So I need to become aware of how I learned to manage emotional relationships with my parents or caregivers when I was a small child, and how that impacts my behavior in my adult relationship. One example of this is what's called the illusion of danger, where here I am, a full-grown adult with lots of choices and capacity and power and options, and basically I'm pretty safe in my relationship. Not everyone is safe in every relationship, but most of us are safe in most relationships. So I'm basically safe in my relationship, but I don't feel safe. I feel threatened, I feel endangered, I feel anxious. I don't feel like I'm in a safe place, even though I really am in a safe place. That's just an example of an emotional flashback to childhood, or a leftover childhood adaptive behavioral pattern that's controlling my behavior in my adult relationship. The last question is, how do I change? A lot of this just comes back to realizing what's going on, calming myself down, and committing myself to behaving in a different way. When my body's on alert, when I'm in fight or flight, my child brain, my survival brain is going to take over and say, I need to behave in the way I learned to behave as a child because that worked as a kid. And so it's just going to keep working now, even though I'm in a completely different context with a whole different set of options. I'm not in a child-parent relationship. I'm in an adult-to-adult relationship. So for me to change my behavior, it starts with calming down, taking a deep breath, taking a step back, and saying, I, as an adult, have choices about how I show up in this relationship. I'm not really in the same degree of jeopardy or danger that I was as a child. I have so much more power in this peer-to-peer, equal-to-equal, adult-to-adult relationship than I did in my child-to-parent relationship when I was a kid.